Manipur is on edge. The streets are filled with the voices of thousands, each one echoing the deep-seated frustrations and fears of a community pushed to its limits. The air is thick with tension and the atmosphere is charged with a palpable sense of urgency. Protests and blockades cripple the region. Ethnic tensions simmer just beneath the surface, threatening to boil over at any moment. The roads, once bustling with daily life, are now scenes of confrontation and defiance. Communities are divided, and the sense of unity that once held them together is fraying. Distrust in security forces runs deep. Years of perceived injustices and heavy-handed tactics have eroded the relationship between the people and those meant to protect them. Every interaction is fraught with suspicion, and the presence of security forces often escalates rather than calms the situation. The government struggles to respond. Press conferences and official statements do little to quell the unrest. The people want peace, but they also want to be heard. They demand meaningful action, not just words. The gap between the government's promises and the people's reality grows wider each day, but they also demand justice. The cries for peace are intertwined with calls for accountability. The people of Manipur are not just seeking an end to the violence, they are demanding a reckoning for the wrongs they have endured. Justice is not a mere slogan, it is a fundamental need. The roots of this unrest are complex. Decades of historical grievances, socio-economic disparities, and political marginalization have created a volatile mix. The scars of past conflicts are still visible, and the memories of those times continue to influence the present. Years of conflict have left scars. The physical and emotional wounds are deep, and the process of healing is slow. Communities are still rebuilding, and the trauma of past violence lingers. The landscape of Manipur is marked by the remnants of these struggles. Different ethnic groups compete for resources and recognition. The competition for limited resources has intensified ethnic rivalries. Each group seeks to assert its identity and secure its place in the socio-political landscape of Manipur. This competition often leads to clashes and further deepens the divides. The government is seen as distant and uncaring. The disconnect between the authorities and the people is stark. Policies are made in distant offices, far removed from the realities on the ground. This perceived indifference fuels the anger and frustration of the populace. Into this powder keg, throw a spark, a controversial policy, a perceived injustice. The announcement of new policies often acts as a catalyst, igniting the simmering discontent. The people feel betrayed and marginalized, and their reactions are swift and fierce. And the flames of anger ignite. Manipur is burning, the protests escalate, and the situation spirals out of control. Fires rage, and chaos ensues. The state is engulfed in turmoil, and the path to peace seems more elusive than ever. The future of Manipur hangs in the balance, as the people and the government grapple with the challenges of reconciliation and justice. National Highway 37 is a lifeline. It is the main artery that connects the state of Manipur to the rest of the country. This highway is crucial for the transportation of goods, services, and people. Without it, the state would be isolated, cut off from essential supplies and economic activities. It carries essential goods to Manipur, from food and medicine to fuel and construction materials. Everything that the people of Manipur need to survive and thrive comes through this highway. The smooth functioning of this route is vital for the well-being of the entire region. But the highway is blocked. The once bustling road is now at a standstill, choked by a sea of protesters. The blockade has brought the flow of goods and services to a grinding halt, creating a ripple effect that is felt far and wide. The Rongmei Naga community stands firm. They have taken to the streets, occupying the highway with a resolve that is both unyielding and determined. Their presence is a testament to their collective strength and unity. They demand attention to their grievances. The protesters hold up signs and banners, each one a cry for justice and recognition. They are not just blocking a road, they are making a statement, one that they hope will reach the ears of those in power. The blockade is a powerful symbol. It represents the frustration and anger of a community that feels ignored and marginalized. The roadblock is not just a physical barrier, it is a manifestation of their struggle and their fight for a better future. It shows the depth of their frustration. It disrupts daily life. It sends a message. The blockade has thrown daily routines into disarray, affecting everyone from commuters to businesses. It is a stark reminder of the power of collective action and the lengths to which people will go to have their voices heard. The Rongmei Nagas will not be ignored. The impact is immediate, supplies dwindle, As the blockade continues, the effects are felt in every corner of Manipur. Store shelves are emptying and people are struggling to find basic necessities. The urgency of the situation is palpable. Prices rise, people suffer. The economic impact of the blockade is severe. With supplies running low, prices for essential goods are skyrocketing. The people of Manipur are bearing the brunt of this crisis, their daily lives disrupted and their financial stability threatened. But the Rongmei Nagas are undeterred. Despite the hardships and the challenges, the protesters remain steadfast. Their determination is unwavering, fueled by a deep sense of injustice and a desire for change. They believe their cause is just. The Rongmei Naga community is united in their belief that their demands are legitimate and their cause is righteous. They are fighting for their rights, their dignity, and their future. They are willing to fight for it. The protesters are prepared to stand their ground for as long as it takes. Their solidarity is their strength, and their resolve is their weapon. They are ready to face any challenge that comes their way, driven by the hope that their struggle will lead to a better tomorrow. The army enters Bishnupur. They detain individuals. The women rise up. They form a human shield. They face down the soldiers. They demand the release of their people. This is courage. This is defiance. These women are protectors. They stand against injustice. They risk their safety for their community. The image is powerful. Women confronting armed men. Their message is clear. We will not be intimidated. We will protect our own. The Assam Rifles approach Kakching. The people say no. They do not trust this force. They remember past abuses. They want them gone. The Assam Rifles are forced to withdraw. The people have spoken. They will not accept any force they deem oppressive. They will resist. This is about power. It's about who controls security. The people of Kakching demand a say. They demand respect. They demand a force they can trust. Section 5. Limeram's Cry for the Familiar. In the heart of Manipur, nestled amidst the lush green hills, lies the quaint village of Limeram. This village, with its serene landscapes and close-knit community, has always been a symbol of peace and harmony. But today, the air is thick with tension and uncertainty. The 9 Gorkha Regiment, which has been a pillar of strength and security for the villagers, is being replaced. This regiment, known for its bravery and dedication, has been a familiar presence in Limaram for years. Their departure marks the end of an era for the villagers. The people of Limaram are unhappy. They trusted the Gorkhas. The villagers have always felt a deep sense of trust and camaraderie with the Gorkha soldiers. Their presence was not just about security, it was about a bond that had been nurtured over time. They fear the new force. This is about familiarity. The new regiment, though equally capable, is an unknown entity to the villagers. The fear of the unknown looms large, casting a shadow over the village's sense of security. It's about a sense of security. The villagers gather in meetings, discussing their concerns and fears. They talk about the safety of their children, the protection of their homes, and the preservation of their way of life. The Gorkhas had become a part of their daily lives, a reassuring presence that they now fear losing. The people of Limaram had a bond with the Gorkha regiment. Change brings uncertainty. The bond between the villagers and the Gorkha soldiers was built on mutual respect and understanding. The soldiers were not just protectors, they were friends, mentors, and sometimes even family. This change brings with it a wave of uncertainty that the villagers are struggling to cope with. Their protests reflect a deeper issue. The peaceful protests in the streets of Limaram are not just about the replacement of a regiment, they are a cry for the familiar, a plea to hold on to the sense of security and stability that the Gorkhas provided, the lack of trust in security forces. The people feel vulnerable, they want stability. The villagers' mistrust in the new security forces stems from a deep-seated fear of change. They feel vulnerable and exposed, longing for the stability that the Gorkhas brought to their lives. They want peace of mind. At the heart of their protests and fears is a simple desire: peace of mind. The villagers of Limaram want to wake up each day knowing that they are safe, that their children can play freely, and that their community can thrive without fear. The cry for the familiar is a cry for peace, stability, and the preservation of their way of life. Section 6. Assam Rifles, a legacy of distrust. The Assam Rifles are a common thread. They are met with suspicion. Their presence fuels anger. They represent a history of oppression. Accusations are plentiful. Human rights abuses, extrajudicial killings, a lack of accountability. The Assam Rifles are a symbol of state power. This distrust is deeply rooted. It is based on years of experience. It is a major obstacle to peace. The people demand a different approach to security. Section 7. The unseen toll of unrest. The protests are a cry for help, but they come at a cost. The economy suffers, businesses close, people lose their livelihoods, essential supplies are disrupted, medicine becomes scarce, food prices skyrocket. The most vulnerable suffer the most, the social fabric frays, fear and suspicion grow, communities turn against each other. The long-term consequences are devastating. Section 8. A call for dialogue and peace. Manipur is at a crossroads. Violence begets violence. Only dialogue can break the cycle. All sides must come to the table. The government must listen. They must address the grievances. They must ensure justice for all. Compromise is essential. The people of Manipur deserve peace. They deserve security. They deserve a future free from fear. The time for action is now.